Meiosis. Meiosis is a type of cell division consisting of two parts, meiosis I and meiosis II. During meiosis I, DNA replication occurs, resulting in cells with half the number of chromosomes than their parent cells. Meiosis is important in sexual division and occurs in a specific order. During interphase I, the cell replicates its chromosomes during S phase. Each chromosome has two sister chromatids held together by a centromere. Meiosis I is the first part of meiosis in which two haploid cells are formed. During prophase I, chromosomes are condensed and homologs pair with synaptomenal complexes. They are now in synapses and are tightly held together. Microtubules attach to kinetochores. The nuclear envelope fragments. Chiasmata appear at points of crossing over, spindle form, and crossing over occur. Crossing over is when non-sister chromatids exchange their corresponding segments of DNA molecules. It begins during the pairing of homologous chromosomes and the synaptomenal complexes formation. It is completed while the homologs are in synapsis. During metaphase I, homologous chromosome pairs called tetrads arrange at the metaphase plate. One chromosome faces each pole. Kinetochores are attached to opposite poles. Independent assortment is the random arrangement of chromosomes during metaphase I. At this stage, the homologous pairs are at the metaphase plate and have one chromosome from each parent. Each of the pairs can go to either pole, and this creates many possible combinations for the chromosomes in each daughter cell. There are two possible arrangements for each daughter cell, so the number of combinations is 2 to the n power if n is a haploid number. Humans have 23 chromosomes, so 2 to the power of 23 is 8,388,608. In this case, n is 3, so 2 to the power of 3 is 8. During anaphase I, homologous chromosomes within pairs separate and move to the opposite poles of the cell as cohesion proteins break and spindles shorten. The sister chromatids still have cohesion and move toward the same pole together. During telophase and cytokinesis I, each half of the cell has a complete haploid set of duplicated chromosomes, with each chromosome containing two sister chromatids. Cytokinesis happens at the same time and produces two haploid daughter cells. Cleavage furrow occurs for animal cells and cell plates for plant cells. Meiosis II is very similar to mitosis and forms 4 haploid cells. There will be no DNA replication between meiosis I and II. During prophase II, the spindle apparatus forms and the chromosomes with two chromatids move towards the metaphase plate. During metaphase II, chromosomes are at the metaphase plate but are not genetically identical to each other. This is because of crossing over in prophase I. At this point, the kinetochores are attached to microtubules. During anaphase II, the proteins binding the sister chromatids break down and the chromatids separate to opposite poles. During telophase and cytokinesis II, nuclei form, chromosomes decondense, and cytokinesis takes place. There are now 4 daughter haploid cells with a single unpaired chromosome in each. They are not identical to each other nor the parents. Non-disjunction occurs when homologous chromosome pairs fail to separate. Non-disjunction can occur in meiosis I or meiosis II. When it occurs in meiosis I, one cell has one homologous pair that doesn't separate. The two cells that are formed with this cell in meiosis II have an uneven amount of genes. One cell would have more genes than another. When these cells split again in meiosis II, its two produced cells have one n+1 gene, and the other two have n-1 genes. The genes with n+1 would be trisomic, and the genes with n-1 would be monosomic. When non-disjunction occurs in meiosis II, one cell does not split properly. This causes one cell to have n+1 genes and one cell to have n-1 genes, but the other two cells being perfectly normal. Because meiosis is a form of sexual reproduction, genetic diversity occurs. This is very advantageous in that it allows the offspring to possibly avoid unfavorable traits from one of the parents. It also maintains an organism's ability to survive and adapt.